Just finish more tracks. How many times have you heard this phrase online? What if I told you that just finish more tracks advice is the exact reason why you are stuck and not finishing tracks? So if you've been grinding hard on music production, yet you're still not seeing any results, this video will fix that. So let's get into it. Now, let's start with the first thing, the quantity over quality myth. Quantity equals to growth. So this is the first thing. So hypothetically, it should, right? But only if we do this the right way. And unfortunately, 90% of music producers do it the wrong way. And this is exactly how I was doing it too. So I know what I'm talking about, right? So this will work if you follow a very specific and straightforward sequence of steps. You are doing the right things and you are practicing the system, right? So this is how it should look like when a professional producer makes a track. It's very simple. You go from point A to point B. It's very clear, and every time it's the same thing. Now, the problem with this is how most producers approach this. And this is just the way that the education on YouTube works. It never teaches you the full system. Duh. Right? So let's say you are here, and then you make one step, the right step, and then everything just goes to hell, right? You go 5 steps back, then maybe you make a little bit of progress just by fixing the mistakes that you should not even have in the first place. And then maybe you go like this, and then again, and then maybe do a little bit of progress, and then again. And like, all I'm trying to illustrate here, like, a lot of producers tends to overcomplicate this. And just because you're practicing random shit again and again, you're not progressing. And this is why you are not finishing, right? So churning out tracks will not magically make you a better producer. You can make 100 tracks using like a crappy system like this and use the knowledge that you picked up from random YouTube videos, and it will not make you a professional producer, and you will not progress, because it's all about being intentional. This is very important concept that we're gonna cover today. Now, I want to go to 2019 to 2020. During that period, I finished and I released 40 tracks on labels, which seems like a pretty big number. Honestly, it is a pretty big number. But now, through 10 years of experience on coaching 100 producers, by the way, if you want to work with me, the link is going to be in the description. I have some free courses as well on how to find your signature sound. The link is also going to be in the description. What I'm realizing right now, yes, I improved, but I didn't really improve that much. And that's the big problem, which I'm going to illustrate here. See, the problem is, again, I wasn't really intentional. I didn't have a system. I was self-taught, just, like picking stuff from YouTube and hoping somehow it sticks, right? So now with the right system, if we take 2 people, so this is me, 1.0. Or could be you, right? Doesn't matter. So with 40 tracks, if we take and we illustrate the growth visually, this is where I was, and then maybe it got me like this much, like 2 years. And this is me, but that's me or you, 2.0. Now, in the same amount of time, 2 years, and let's say 40 tracks, I would even just reframe it. If in 2 years you make a little bit less, let's say you make 25 or 25 tracks. Let's illustrate how much progress you can make. So with the right system, with the right guidance, when you are intentional, you can make this much progress. Because again, it's not about grinding. You see, like the gap between the first one here, like this, and like this, is just so big. So when you are doing the right thing, you're gonna get way better results. Like in anything that you do in life, right? If you take business, for example, I know a lot of my clients are business owners. Sometimes you do less, but you get more results because you are more intentional, you have more leverage, you are more efficient as well. So we need to be more efficient. Now, one thing about this, about finishing more tracks, which I think is really like a lot of people are struggling with, and this is again something that I also experienced, was fighting resistance. Let's use another color here. It's the resistance when you are finishing a track. Because if you don't really like the track, you're gonna have this emotional resistance, and this is exactly what I had. I was pushing myself to finish every track, and sometimes I fucking hated my tracks. I fucking hated myself because I was not getting the results. And I was frustrated, like I'm not getting the results, I'm frustrated, and then that just goes in circle. And I'm so sure that so many of you are in the same position right now. You are doing something, you're grinding, you're clearly putting in the work, but you're not seeing the results. So the problem is not that you're not disciplined, the problem is you don't have the right system for finishing tracks, which is actually like very, very simple. And you even may like hate some of your tracks, which is not really the best thing in music when we make something creative. So yes, I learned how to push through, but sometimes I burnt out with these tracks and my progress just slowed, right? So now let's get into the strategy, into the juicy part. So how to be intentional. So just like I illustrated, a lot of people, you just do shit randomly. Now I'm gonna show you how to do this the right way. So number one is gonna be preparation. So every track that you make, you want to make sure that you have a reference track, plus clear idea on what you want to make from this track, right? That's how professional producers do it. Like if you're not using reference track, if you're just like opening your door and you're throwing shit at the wall, like paint at the wall, hoping it sticks, hoping it turns into something cool, I'm sorry to disappoint you, but you're just wasting your time. So, so do yourself a favor and listen to the video here, okay? Once you got the idea, the reference, and the structure, the next thing is gonna be having a clear focus. Clear focus for track, which could be maybe you want to practice, let's say, kick plus bass. Maybe you want to practice, let's say, drums. It could literally be anything, but you really, really want to have this structure. I'm, by the way, just looking at my bullet points here to make sure like I'm following, because this is freestyle. Like I haven't prepared any script. This is just like out of my mind, like no preparation, no nothing, right? So this is it. Preparation, clear focus for the tracks. And another one, which I think a lot of people tends to overcomplicate, is keep it simple. Keep it simple. So fewer layers, fewer sounds, and just really focus on getting the best out of the idea of the track you have, right? So less is more, like really, really less is more. Now, what else can I add to this? The last thing, just to drive the point home, one track is one lesson. That's really what you want to do. Okay. All right, now let's summarize this. We're getting closer to the end of the video. Now, the old way is, let's do something like this. Okay, so quantity, old, new. So quantity only, which is gonna give you burnout, not fun, no results either. Now the new one is gonna be quantity plus intention. And this is really the best combo because you're gonna win, right? So deliberate practice beats random practice. So I really want you to think every time when you do something, like when you produce a track, every time when you sit in front of the door, I want you to cultivate your awareness. Like, what am I doing right now? Am I wasting my time just clicking random shit? Or am I doing something that actually moves me forward? So you improve faster because you're not overwhelmed. You start enjoying the process because the goal is clear and achievable, and you create better tracks because your intention sharpens the outcome, right? So it's so simple, yet so many people just overlook it. And it's so funny that, you know, if we take gym, like exercising, there's a plan. Nutrition, there's a plan. What else? Business, there's always a plan. But then people forget about that in music. People just go like watch some random shit fucking ass tutorials on YouTube, and then they're surprised, like, oh no, like I'm not getting any results. Like I'm frustrated. Like, duh, because you're doing random shit. Okay, so let's summarize. I think, honestly, I said everything that I wanted to say. Maybe just like the final point to keep the video really short and to the point. So one last thing that I want to say here is a couple of final bullet points. Stop. Number one, stop forcing every track. If the track feels like a torture, you hate it, fuck it. Skip it. Doesn't matter, right? Now, stop grinding for the numbers. This is again another toxic habit that is just not gonna be like really, really helpful. 3, be strategic. And number four, actually 2 more. Treat each track like a mission. And final one is fucking enjoy making music again. Because when you have intention, when you are strategic, music production is going to be way more enjoyable. All right, that's going to be it for today's mindset video. So make sure you watch the next one. YouTube is going to automatically recommend something that will make the most sense for you. So thank you for watching, and watch the next video here.